Welcome. This is where we have captured interviews from the very people who helped shape our town. This is brought to you by the Lowell Area Historical Museum and the Boat 92.3 radio station, located right here in everyone's backyard. Today is May 11th, 2019, and this interview is with none other than Rose Fonger. Welcome, Rose. I'm so glad that you were able to do this interview.
Okay. Did you know my name is not Rose?
No, I did not know. I was just going to ask you, what is your full name then?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. What's your middle name?
Helen.
Really? And what is your parents' name?
Beckett. Beckett. And they got a picture at the showboat, Bennett.
Goodness, we're going to have to get that fixed.
That's that one that they got down there at the back seat of the car.
Oh, yes. Girls. With all the pretty girls in their bathing suits.
Rose Bennett Fonger. Oh. It's not Bennett, it's Beckett.
Beckett.
Ettett.
Okay. Uh-huh. And where were you born?
I was born in Chicago.
Ooh.
And I was 18 months old. My mother didn't want us anymore, so she called my dad, who was a football player for Northwestern at the time, and said, I don't want your kids anymore.
Oh, goodness. And was he in Michigan?
No, we were in Chicago, in Oak Park. We lived in a 3-story apartment building, home.
Okay.
And her mother and her dad had been shot.
Oh, my goodness.
By Al Capone, I think, because he didn't want to pay because they had a candy factory.
Oh.
And he didn't want to pay protection money anymore, and they shot him, took him to a restaurant and shot him.
Oh, my goodness.
And his name was Carmelia Marcaselli. And her name, she lived to be 104 and couldn't speak a word of English.
Oh.
And she was in a nursing home in Chicago. After I had left, I didn't know it.
Okay.
And that's where she was all that time.
How did you get to Lowell then?
That's my uncle. My uncles on my dad's side brought me to Lowell. To my grandmother's.
Okay, and so you were brought to Lowell.
Out on the farm.
As a young girl.
No electricity. No running water. No inside toilet.
Oh my goodness.
No bathrooms. Toilet tubs. What else was there?
What street was that farm on?
On Bennett Road.
Bennett, sorry.
I think that's where they got my name mixed up.
There we go. I didn't know that. Is the house still there?
The house burnt down.
Oh, okay.
When I was 2.5, I fell out of the upstairs window into a rose bush that saved me.
Thank goodness.
Caught me.
Thank goodness. So that meant that you went to school all your life, to Lowell schools. No?
This is a long story.
Okay, go ahead.
Mother came out to see me in that one picture of my sister and I here when I was like about 2 to 3.
Right here.
Right
this
there.
One. Okay.
And I wouldn't look at her because I didn't like her. So they couldn't get a good picture of me.
Oh, baby.
I was mad. But then when I was 7, she had her brother bring her out, her Uncle Joe. And I didn't like her. And then when I was 7, she decided that she wanted us back and took us to court and got us back.
Oh.
So we had to go to Chicago and live again.
Oh, okay.
So I went to Chicago from the time I was 7 until I was 12.
And then
I got in a fight with my mother.
Uh-oh. At 12?
At 12 years old. She sent me across the street. On Taylor Street we lived at that time.
Okay.
To this man to get a cup of sugar. And I didn't like what all kinds of names were sending me over there.
Okay.
So she didn't want us anymore, and she sent us back to Michigan again.
To your uncle's house?
Sent us back to Michigan.
Okay.
I was in Chicago.
All right.
So
you came back to Michigan, to the farm?
Yes, it was on a plane, and there was my picture and my sister's picture of us in the Chicago Times, and it says, Mother doesn't want children anymore.
Oh, honey.
So here we're sitting on a plane, and I'm 12 years old, and Mother doesn't want children anymore. Sandy's got that clipping up at her house someplace.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think she has anyway. I think I had one.
So, what age did you start Lowell schools then? You were 12.
age
So
when
was
I
that?
The next day when I had to go to school, I got up and walked down to the school building in Bennett on Virgins.
Okay.
And he says, "Oh, you're in the 8th grade. You don't go here anymore. You have to go into Lowell. You have to take the bus."
Oh, okay.
And I said, "I do?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll be here very shortly. Pick you up." I didn't know anything about it. My grandmother didn't know anything about it.
Wow.
So they picked me up, took me into Lowell, and signed me up, sent me home on the bus, and got home, and then I start working at Christensen's drugstore
Oh, okay.
when I was 13.
And how long were you at the drugstore then?
Quite a while, and then from Christensen's, I went to Kaiser's Kitchen.
Oh.
They paid a little more.
Okay.
Instead of a quarter an hour, I got 50 cents an hour.
Now, around those time, were you dating your husband Mac? Was he
No.
like a football player then?
Never
or-
met him. No. Mac
Okay.
was 9 years older than I'm, 8 years older than I am.
Oh, okay.
Well, I went all through high school then, and I'd be sitting up there, and I'd see Herb Elzinga get in his car and his wife getting ready to go to Florida, and I'd say, "I'm going to go to Florida someday and live."
Oh,
And that's what I did.
that's right. That is what you had done.
And I would have stayed. I'm going blind, so I
Right.
had to come home.
So how did you meet Mac?
Okay, I was at Christensen's drugstore working, and I was 17. And at that time, everybody was drinking a little. And I
Okay.
had a bottle in there drinking some Coke that night because there was a dance up to the City Hall, upstairs in the City Hall.
Oh, okay.
So when I got out of work, I was going to go up to the City Hall. Well, Mac happened to come into Christensen's. And I thought he was another fellow that I knew. Let's see, Dick. I thought he was Dick Peckham. Is who I thought
Okay.
he was. But anyway, I went up to the dance. Mac left, and I left, and I went to the dance. Walked up to the dance from Christensen's, and lo and behold, Mac come walking in.
Oh,
And he come over and he asked me to dance. And I guess I danced with him the rest of the night.
oh,
But I don't ever remember going home with him that night. I think
Okay.
it was someone else. I'm not sure really who it was or what. But then he showed up again at the drugstore and asked me to go out, and went to ball games all the time and stuff. And I went with him.
and the rest was history. So, well, my question is, did you marry Mac right out of school, out of high
I didn't
school, or
get out
no?
of- I quit in 11th grade.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yes, because
okay.
I turned in September. I turned 18,
Okay.
and so we went and got married 2 days afterwards.
Oh, goodness.
And I spent that wedding picture right there, and that's our wedding picture.
Oh, look at that.
And I was pregnant there, of course. And we got married, and we spent the day at the Cubs Park, and Jackie Robinson made his debut.
Wow.
And we were the only white people there.
Wow. Wow.
That's all I could remember about that day.
Now, where did you get married at? Was it the Justice
In
of Peace?
Chicago.
Oh, wait a minute.
Justice of the Judge Montgomery was the name of the judge that married us.
Oh, wow.
And we bought our rings. Where's Kelsey? Where's Aubrey? Huh?
I'm right here, Grandma.
You look like Kelsey to me. I can't tell. See that ring she's got on?
This is hers.
Oh,
Right there.
okay.
Mac bought that ring for $100.
That was a lot of money back then.
I always thought it was $100 when I gave it to him. I didn't know. And I bought another ring at a birthday, And I thought they were quite cheap. They were only cost $300 for the two of them in a setting. And I gave them to Joe and Aubrey because I promised her my diamonds. You know, what else is people going to do with them?
Right, right.
They don't know what they are anyway, so I went, well, I'm going to give them to my granddaughter then. And I gave them to them.
And I think that's a great idea.
And they're worth, if I known what they were worth, I never probably would have parted with them.
Aw, well, you know,
But
they're in safe hands.
They're worth a lot of money nowadays. I didn't know it. But I'm happy that she's got it, and it's beautiful. How she had it made up, and I'm happy for her.
You certainly surround yourself with a lot of beautiful children, though.
Yes, I did, really.
Yes, you did. How many kids did you have?
I had 5 boys.
Okay.
I had a basketball team.
Oh, you did. What's your 5 boys' names?
Well, first there was Nick, and then there was Tommy, and he got killed when he was 37. And then there was Andrew, and then there was Nick. His name is George, but George Nicholas, they all call him Nick.
Yes.
And then Neil.
Okay.
Neil Ray. He was named after Aunt Ilma's husband, Ray. He's Ray.
Was any of the boys a twin? Did you have twin boys ever or no?
No twins. But
Okay.
everybody thought I was the last 2, Nick and Neil. They thought I was only pregnant for 1.
Yeah.
Because they're only the same age for 2 weeks.
Yeah, Dale thought that they were twins.
No, they're not twins.
Let's get right to the fun part. Now, this is where I come in because I loved your restaurant, and whenever I would bring up that I was going to do this interview, everyone said it was her olive burgers that brought them back time and time again. Now, was that called a Rosie burger, or what was it
It
called?
was a Rosie burger. There was an olive burger. There was a Neil burger. There was a Nicky burger. There was a Big Daddy for Mac. And a Wow burger.
Yes, I do remember the Wow
A
burger.
Blue burger. They were all really good. I liked all of them.
Well, all of us did too. We loved going down
Olive
there.
burger. Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Now, how did you get in the restaurant business?
Well, after working at Kaiser's Kitchen for all the years that I did,
Yes.
and then I went to work for Kroger, because Mac went to work for Kroger. And one day they needed some help. So Mac says, why don't you come down and help us? And I said, okay, I will. I wound up working for Kroger for 15 years
Wow.
and 3 months. And that's all it took, belonging to the union. And I have been getting a pension since I'm 55 years old.
Oh,
Isn't that something?
that is something.
And then they closed the store up in Lowell, and they sent me to Grand Rapids on 28th Street. I said, this is for the birds. Driving in this traffic, I had to wait an hour to 2 hours for the traffic to let up to drive home.
No.
I said, I'm going to open up a restaurant. Max says, you can't do that. You don't know anything about it. I said, you watch me. So I found that place down there of Muller's.
What was the place called before you? Mars?
Pete Mulder owned that.
Okay, what was that?
A blue something gas station?
Oh, it was a gas station
It
before
was a
you.
gas station.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. And you know, they had the tanks down under there, and I never had to have those tanks taken out until after I closed the place. Then I had to have the tanks taken out before I
Oh.
could sell to 7-Eleven.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I did. But anyway, I opened up the restaurant, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I had a bookkeeper, and he did the bookkeeping. He says, Rose, you can't do that. And I said, you watch me. Well, anyway, we got along. Mac did the payroll of all the employees I had, and I had a lot of employees. I don't know, something like 32 people I've ever hired in all my life, or
Wow.
something like that. Everybody says, oh, I work for you. And I go, now you did? I don't remember you.
Bless your heart. You helped a lot of high school kids, though, earn some extra money, and they appreciate that to this day.
Yeah, I hired a lot of them. And then Sandy came it wasn't Sandy, it was Evelyn Knapp, came to me and says, my granddaughter is here and she needs a job. I said, she does? And she says, yes. And I says, you know what, Evie? She worked at
Everhart's, yes.
I said, you send her down. Well, she sent her down and she worked for me, and that's what come of it, 6 kids.
That's right. Neil never knew what hit him. He did not see it, because Sandy's still a beauty to this day.
Yes, she is. She's a wonderful person.
Yes, she is.
Rose, you let our band play in that side room back in the, remember the play with Mitch McMahon and
I
me
did.
and Dave Jones, and we played in your place, I think, twice.
Oh my
on a Friday
goodness.
night. We played
Well,
a
that's
set or
right. I
something.
did have music down there, didn't I?
I?
You remember me freezing the skating rink back there?
Oh,
I froze the back end of all that parking lot into a skating rink too.
Wow.
I had a skating rink back there for a couple of years.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, this is a personal question. Where did you get all those tables that you had in that restaurant? Because I know that Neil's got one of those tables and a couple chairs.
Who has?
Neil does. Doesn't he? Or did, I think
Evelyn had one.
yes. Okay.
Evelyn got one.
Okay. Where did you buy those in the
I
first
don't
place?
really remember where I
Because they
bought
were
them.
all, I swear that they were a whole tree worth of tables. They were so
lovely.
heavy.
They were those heavy ones. Out
Yes.
in back.
Oh my goodness.
And then I had one of those other tables I had out in the front, round ones. That
yes.
we played cards. You know, we played cards there every morning.
Did you?
Harold Engelhart, Charlie Doyle, Berwin Kloosterman, and myself. For 16 years, we played euchre every morning from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Wow.
And then we would quit, and they'd go to work, and I'd go to the store and do my business and stuff. And Harold says that was the most pleasant and enjoyable time of his life.
Oh.
Was those 16 years of playing euchre
Bless
down in
his
my
heart.
restaurant.
Bless his heart.
Wasn't that something?
That is something. Could you share with us some another memory that you fond memory of being at the restaurant?
I guess playing cards was the best one.
Was that it? Okay.
And then having that roasted chicken, of course.
Oh, I forgot about that. My mom was hypnotized to that chicken.
Was good
Everybody
chicken.
loved that chicken. Mm-hmm. That was the best thing that you brought to Lowell, young lady.
Yes. And Kurt Collins worked for me for a long time, and he was the best worker I ever had.
Really?
Yes,
Oh.
he was. And to this day, I love that boy.
Oh.
He is so sweet.
And he was a great worker.
Yes,
Goodness.
he was.
Goodness.
He's a very nice man.
Well, what year did you close the restaurant?
I think it was 1981.
Okay. Okay.
And I thought I had it sold to somebody from Freeport. And they were there 2 or 3 months, and they closed up. They locked the doors, and they never paid me, and they never told me, gave me the key. I had to take them to court. I couldn't do anything. I didn't have the keys. They didn't turn anything off. It
Oh, my
froze.
goodness.
The water all froze in there, and it all... I had a hell of a time.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it was terrible.
No, I never do that.
Never got a cent out of him. I finally... The keys were useless after that,
Right.
practically, so... And then I had to get rid of everything. That was all there was to it. It was just everything was destroyed when those pipes broke.
So was that when you sold it directly to 7-Eleven, which was, I think, Garbco Company?
I think it was 7-Eleven that I sold to on
Okay.
the corner there.
Okay.
I think it was before 84, but I can't remember.
All right.
Really, 83 or something like that, maybe.
I'm sorry, go
I was
ahead.
pretty lucky to have a buyer right away like that.
That was a big eye opener too, because everybody was heartbroken to see the restaurant get tore down, and then here comes a part of Grand Rapids, which is a 7-Eleven and Slurpees. Oh my goodness!
Yes. And then, of course, you knew I owned the land where the apartments are
Yes, yes.
down there. And they, at the same time, they were dickering the same time two different people.
Oh wow! So you
About
had
that.
two sticks in the fire, so to
Yes,
say.
I had all that land down there, and I says, yeah, I'm not selling unless you build apartments. And they says, that's what we want to build.
There you
I
go.
says, well, then we'll talk turkey.
There you go.
I
That's
should
right.
have kept it and done it myself. I didn't know I could have done it
You know, you never know.
because my bookkeeper got killed.
Oh, honey, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who's your bookkeeper's
Him and his
name?
wife were walking across the road to the funeral home to see somebody, and they got hit by a car and killed them both.
Was that here? That was here in
Right
Lowell,
here in
correct?
Lowell, right in front of Ross and Gers.
Yep. That I remember when that happened. That was so shocking that him and his wife got out of the car and walked right across
Yes.
the road and was hit.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, I didn't
And I'm
know
sure
that.
if he was alive to this day, he would have advised me what to do and
right.
stuff. Because he was a
Definitely.
big help to me.
Oh, bless his heart. What was his name again?
Oh. I've said it too several times. I can't remember.
That's okay. I've got a question though. Did any of your kids work at the restaurant?
Andrew run it for a while. I let him and he was married at the time, and him and his wife at the end, towards the end, I let them take over and run it.
Okay.
And it went belly up. It started losing money and stuff, so that's when I decided that I'd better sell.
We might as well sell it.
And
Definitely.
then I heard McDonald's were coming to town too, so I knew I better get out.
There you go. There you go. After Mac passed away, it seemed that we didn't see you anymore. Where did you go?
I went to
happened?
Florida.
Oh, your life dream to
Yeah.
live in Florida. And what did you do in Florida?
I golfed and I did Senior Olympics. If you ever heard of
What?
the Senior Olympics?
No.
Go get my medals.
You got
hanging on.
medals?
I got
What?
a lot of medals. I did golfing.
Of
I did
course.
chip and putting. I did cribbage. I did euchre. And the last thing, when I couldn't shuffle golf anymore because I
Oh my goodness.
couldn't, I had more than that. They got in a fire.
Oh, I didn't know you had a fire.
No, I had a storm. Took my roof off of another place, and these are all my medals I won. I won gold and
Bronze and silver.
I won gold, bronze, and silver in most everything. But the last time that I was 90 years old,
Euchre. Even euchre. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I had to turn 90 years old. I won shuffling, and I won the gold in shuffling for the first time. I never really ever shuffled that much.
Oh my goodness.
And I won that lady. I had 80, and she had 3 in the hole.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh.
But that's all the medals that I won in fun.
Oh my gosh.
Euchre, I won the gold twice that I know of. Cribbage, I won. Chip and putting, I won the gold.
Oh my goodness.
And silver, whatever.
So
Every
you
year. 24 years I did Senior Olympics.
so that was how long you were in Florida, was for 24 years,
Yeah, I'd
correct?
come home for the summer a little bit
Okay.
sometimes, but then I'd go right back again because of no use being up here because I love to play bingo.
Oh, definitely. And the
they
weather
had
was
bingo
great.
every day down there. I played bingo all the time.
Goodness. And
Mm-hmm.
and you were such a great golfer though. That's one thing that I do remember as a kid. You were a great golfer.
I wasn't bad for an old bag.
Well, you know, and as a young girl growing up
Mm-hmm.
and myself seeing my father go golfing, you know, and my mom would go to, you know, up north and go golfing with him once a year, but you were the first woman that I ever knew though that was an avid golfer. And that really hit to home with me personally because I thought, gosh, you know, she has a restaurant, she has a family, and she still took time for herself. And like I said, whenever like out at I don't know if you do Arrowhead golf course around it.
Arrowhead.
I'll tell you, and I took golf lessons, and my father felt like he was throwing money out the door. But you were such an avid golfer. I do appreciate and thank you for being a good role model for me. To show me that, we do have a voice and we do need to get out there and do what we enjoy doing. And you
Did
enjoy
I teach
golfing.
you any of the golfing at that time?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't. I couldn't. I took golf lessons out at Arrowhead, and I know that Richie Curtis was out there, but
Mr. Who?
Richie Curtis, he was taking lessons too.
Oh, really?
Yes, but like I said, I was never as good as you.
That was after I left then, because I did teach golf out there for a while.
Did you?
Yes. When I sold the restaurant, I went to work on golf courses.
Oh, okay.
I was a ranger and a starter and
wow.
did everything.
Wow.
And I taught myself to golf. And that was the main thing, because I started when I was 20 years old, and I golfed all the time. And finally, Mac wouldn't golf with me until I got to golfing good, and then he wouldn't let me go alone. He made me golf with them, with the guys all the time, and I never knew I could golf from the women's tees for a long time, because I had to golf from the men's tees.
There you go.
I went, well, that's something, until I joined league.
There you go.
Then I got to do it from the women's, and I turned out all right.
Yes, you certainly did. You certainly did.
And
I
did
still
love
remember
it.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And I loved bowling. I did everything with the kids. From ice skating to skiing to bow and arrow to everything.
Okay. Well, I do have another question for you about the showboat. What stories do you have that you could share with us?
Well, that was a fun time.
Yeah.
I was married and I had 2 children. And they were looking for somebody to be the queen of the showboat, I guess.
Wow.
And some way, Runtsman says, well, what about Rosie Fanger? And they come and ask me, and I said, sure, why not? And so then they said, well, who else did I know? Well, at the time, Dorothy Vandenholt and Gloria Roth, I knew them, and there was a cease.
Okay.
So they picked the 4 of us
To be in the showboat.
to be the showboat queens that year, to go see Soapy Williams and go around the places in shorts. Nobody was gutty enough to wear shorts at that time except me. That's one of the reasons why they asked me. So that's how I got to be the queen of the showboat.
Oh. Now, you were involved with showboat, though, through the years as I was a kid
No, I
doing
just
things?
went
or
down
no?
to the showboat all the time.
Okay.
Every night I loved it. I thought it was the best thing Lowell ever did, was they have that showboat. And I really liked amateur night.
Oh, really?
I thought that was just a wonderful, successful night.
I
And
did
I thought
too.
it was nice for the kids and to see what they could do. That was what was interesting, and how little they were. And I was just floored for everything, and I loved it.
Who was your favorite entertainer for the showboat?
When I first started out, the first one that ever talked to me was Eddie Peabody. And I worked at Christensen's drugstore.
Oh, really?
And he had the nerve to ask me to go to Grand Rapids with him that night. I said, no way. I couldn't have been over 12 or 15 or 15 maybe.
Okay.
I went, no way. But I was always interested in the showboat.
I do remember that you were, that whenever the showboat was going on, and you lived on Lafayette Street at one time, down the street from us, and the boys would go ahead and go down with me to help staple some tinfoil on the showboat and what have you. But I always seen that, you were around and you were very active and keeping an eye on us kids, of course, and your boys. But it seemed like every time I turned around that you brought food to down to the showboat to the actors or what have you. And I thought that was pretty, that was pretty big of you to do that.
Once when Gerald Ford, do you remember Gerald Ford coming to Lowell?
Yes, I do.
I put on the luncheon for him
You did?
up to Wittenbach's. And they had the Secret Service men that ate in a restaurant for 3 nights before. And they were all there to watch me carry the food out. Until I got it up there. They were up there to see me put it up. Fix it all up on the tables and everything. So I prepared lunch for
Jerry
Mr. Ford, and he had his daughter with him, and she was young at that time.
That would be Susan, probably.
Susan, I talked to her a little bit, but not too
Aw.
much.
Was that your famous roasted chicken?
I can't remember what I took up there.
Okay.
It was a bunch of stuff, but I can't remember what I served. I can't remember.
With your family that I see, we got pictures of the boys, and how many grandkids do you have now?
12.
12 grandkids.
Uh-huh.
Goodness. And you got great grandkids
Oh, wait.
too?
I got 11 grandkids and 3 great-grandchildren.
Oh.
That's how it is.
What would be your favorite memory of living in Lowell? What would that be?
My favorite memory... My favorite one is meeting Mac.
Aw. At the soda fountain.
Really? I think
bless
that
your
was
heart.
just lovely.
Bless your heart.
Worked out good.
It definitely did, didn't he? Now, he worked at the post office, correct?
He worked at the post office.
And so was he
He retired from the post office
Okay.
and set me up so I'm set for life.
There you go. Bless his heart. He took care of you, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And I have never met another man that was ever as nice as him.
Definitely.
And I said I'd never get married again either. And so,
And you haven't.
Nope.
You stay true to your word, don't you?
yeah, pretty much.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us?
No, not really. Just that I love the town of Lowell. And thought about it all the time.
Good.
When I was in Florida. I called Marlene there all the time, every week.
Marlene,
Marlene McCormick.
did you?
Every week. For all the time I was
Aw.
in Florida, I called her
Really?
every week.
To see what was going on in your town,
Found
right?
out what was going on
That's
in town.
right.
Yeah. And she would know.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Thank you for this interview. And I do want to say on a personal note, though, is that, the town of Lowell, we've come a long way. And we thank you. I personally thank you for being who you are.
Thank
Good
you.
or bad of what anybody ever thought. But you know what? At this point, Lowell looks at you and we miss you. And we miss your roasted chicken. We miss your olive burgers.
Yep.
And we just simply, you're one of our shining stars. You're our gem. And we appreciate everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
Everything you've done for us, because you brought a whole different perspective for a lot of us that we take to home.
Did you know when I was 80, did you get that plaque off the wall that they wrote up when I was 80 that they gave me for the city of Lowell?
No, what?
What is it that they do for you when you're...
What, Citizen of the Year? What did you
no,
do?
it was... what is the name of that?
I don't know. Person of the Year?
It's the things that I had done for the city of Lowell.
Oh, bless your heart.
And they got them listed here. What is
Okay,
that?
let me read this to you. I got to get my glasses on because I got old on you. So you left me alone and I got old. So City of Law proclamation. Sorry.
Proclamation.
Whereas Rosie Fonger has been a pioneer for women in athletics, instrumental in organizing the first women's golf leagues in the early 1950s in the city of Lowell, Michigan, and whereas Rosie Fonger has been a pioneer for women in business by starting Rosie's Drive-In Restaurant in 1966 in the city of Lowell, And whereas Rosie Fonger has been a pioneer in introducing culinary delights such as pizza, tacos, and roasted chicken to the city of Lowell. Whereas, hold on, I'm not done yet. Rosie Fonger has been a visionary in the development of real estate in the city of Lowell, which you definitely, and one more. Whereas Rosie Fonger has over the years devoted time and resources to the community events such as parades and festivals, including the Lowell Showboat, and this is the last one. Now therefore let it be resolved that I, James W. Hodges, Mayor Term Tim of City of Lowell, on behalf of the entire City Council, acknowledge the celebration of Rosie Fonger's 80th birthday on September 22nd, 2008. How beautiful is that?
Isn't that something?
And it's got the seal, the City of Lowell seal here, State of Michigan, James Hodges. Gosh,
Isn't that something?
that is something. That's because you're something.
A
You
guy
have
in
always been
Florida
ours.
saw that. I had
Really?
a copy made, and I had it in Florida. He thought that was so wonderful, he had to have a copy of it.
Oh my goodness.
He thought it was wonderful. Never heard from him again.
You know what though? I've never seen this before.
You never seen a proclamation?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Not for anybody of Lowell. You're the first.
I must be.
Yes. I'm going to have to ask the city council who for a list of, because I'm gonna tell you, I don't think there is a list. This is a big honor, and I'll tell you, it's a big honor for me, Rose.
My
Thank you
grandson-
so much.
Craig
Yes.
got them to do that for my 80th
Oh,
birthday.
Craig did? Okay, I babysat him. I did. Oh, bless his heart. But this is amazing. You're an amazing woman. Thank you for being ours, Rose. Thank
Well,
you.
I thank you for the beautiful, beautiful entertainment.
Thank you.
Loved it.
And that'll be it for us
Yes.
and Rose.
I thank you.
Thank you, Rose.